Hello, welcome to my first video. I'm Shango, and this is Shango's Counterculture Classics. Hopefully, in these videos, I'll introduce you guys to some hidden gems, some cult classics, stuff you may not have seen, movies that just got overshadowed and didn't really get talked about. Hopefully, I love all kinds of movies. I love genre flicks, so I'm going to be talking about horror movies, sci-fi, grindhouse exploitation, action films, mostly from the 80s, because those were the best action films, and movies with boobies. So, we're lacking that in Hollywood right now, and I think that's a damn disgrace. I'm seeing more ding dongs in movies than I've ever seen in my life. But anyway, aside from that, I had to get that out there. I'm going to talk about a movie today. It's called Wakanda Forever. It was amazing. It was so emotional and such a tribute. Oh my God, it was beautiful. All right, I'm sorry. My brain just got, hijacked by the collective there. I apologize for that. Movie I'm going to talk about today is called Blue Ruin. It came out in 2013. It's directed by Jeremy Saulnier and starring Macon Blair. You may or may not have heard of these guys. They've done a couple projects together. They started in Murder Party, which came out in 2007. It's a, indie horror comedy film. It's pretty funny. It has its moments. I've seen better, I've seen worse, but it's worth checking out if you want to see a pretty cool little indie horror flick. They were also, well, Jeremy directed, Macon was in Green Room, which also had Patrick Stewart in it. That's a pretty cool movie. I would recommend that one. It's got a pretty big following in the horror world, so you may have heard of that one. But Blue Ruin, the movie's really about this character named Dwight. He's a homeless guy. He's living in like a really beat to crap Bonneville, Rehoboth Beach. Just he's homeless, and you can tell right away that he's carrying some really heavy weight. There's something going on here you don't get immediately, but you shortly find out that his parents were murdered, and the man who murdered his parents is being released from prison. So all of a sudden, Dwight decides he's going to kill the guy. So this is a revenge film, but this is not John Wick or Death Wish. This is not an action flick. It's a complex character-driven drama. And Dwight totally sucks at revenge. It's like the guy that does your taxes at H&R Block trying to exact revenge on somebody. He has no training. He's cowardly. He's weak. But he doesn't expect to survive this, so who cares? He's going to do it anyway. And he's not driven by bloodlust. He's driven by grief, which was a pretty interesting take on the whole revenge thing, because most times, like, you killed my dog, I'm going to kill you. But this isn't the case. So Dwight, he gets his Bonneville running and goes to Virginia, where the guy's being released. He's waiting for him outside the prison. He sees his family come up, pick him up. They take him to a bar to celebrate his release. Dwight follows him. He sneaks in the back of the bar and hides in the bathroom, waiting for this guy to come in and take a leak. And when he does, he kills him with a shiv. And it's a pretty brutal fight, but it's not eloquent by any means. But the guy is dead. Dwight does survive. And that's where the film really kind of starts. This is like the first 20 minutes. So the movie's really a revenge flick that starts where most revenge flicks end. And it's full of tension and cringeworthy moments, a lot of violence, gore, practical effects. And thank you for practical effects, because I'm really tired of crappy CGI blood. It looks horrible. Put a little time and effort into your blood, people. It doesn't take that much. This movie, it is a quiet movie. There's not a whole lot of dialogue. So if you're looking for something that's Tarantino-esque, full of, witty banter, this isn't it. But it helps the film in the fact that Macon Blair really gets to shine as an actor and evoke emotions the way an actor should, through your face and body language. This is a slow burn. It's not action-packed, fast-paced. It takes a lot of time to build up. If you like movies like the Coen Brothers, like No Country for Old Men, maybe Unforgiven, Bone Tomahawk. If you haven't seen Bone Tomahawk, go watch that movie. It's pretty badass. But if you like those type of movies, you'll probably enjoy this one. And it is an indie film, but it doesn't look indie and low budget. Even though I think they had like $200,000 to make this movie, which is ridiculous. It looks like a big budget film. Jeremy obviously knows what he's doing as a director and cinematographer, because it doesn't look low budget at all. The acting's great, the lighting's great, everything about it is shot wonderfully. And being low budget, it's kind of like a labor of love, a swan song, I guess, because after Murder Party, Jeremy kind of got pigeonholed into making the whole horror comedy thing, and that's not what he wanted to do. He wanted to develop and grow as a director. So he kind of got out of the business. He went into advertising and corporate videos. He wanted to get back in filmmaking, so he did some cinematography. Um, yeah, some cinematography, but he decided he wanted to make another movie. He wanted to involve making it. They were childhood friends. They'd known each other forever. And he had this idea of a beach bum rolling around his head and developed. Macon didn't want to do it at first when he found out it was a revenge film because he didn't think he could pull off the whole, you know, revenge character. But finding out how the character actually was, he was all in. So this was their one last hurrah at making a movie they really wanted to make. Um, with the low budget, they used childhood homes that belonged to family members. They revisited their past. They came and filmed everything in Virginia where they grew up. And it makes the film even better because it is a labor of love. Sometimes those type of movies really, really pay off. Another added little bonus in this movie is Eve Plum, Jan Brady's in it. Nice to see her doing something, that was actually really, really cool. I haven't seen her in anything in a long time. So it was good to see her come up. Now Macon Blair, if you're interested a little bit more in him after seeing this movie, he did direct a movie called I Don't Belong in This World Anymore. It starred Elijah Wood. It's probably still on Netflix at this point. That's where I saw it a while back. But it's a very different character for Elijah. Dry humor, very dry humor. But Elijah, it's a really cool role. He does some crazy stuff in it. I really like that movie, even though that's probably not up everybody's alley. But he is directing the upcoming Toxic Avenger movie. I'm a little bit apprehensive because I don't know how the sense of humor is going to work with Toxie and the whole Tromaverse. I mean, I love Toxic Avenger. Peter Dinklage is in it, so it might be good. Dinklage is the man. So I would give this movie 4 out of 5 stars. Not the best movie I've ever seen, but really, really well worth watching. I think you should go watch this movie as soon as you can. All right, take it easy.